Hi, welcome to EDSC 550, and this is a social and cultural competencies. In this course, we're going to examine social and cultural competencies with marginalized populations. So as school counselors, our role is to advocate and lead and be the agents of change for equitable outcomes for our students. During this course, we'll meet online via Zoom, weeks 1, 3, 5, and 7. These are required online for your participation points. You will join using the Zoom link. Don't worry, the Zoom link remains the same throughout the course. If on each and every week, I have included the Zoom link underneath our virtual assignments. A couple of things I'll go over with you. Let me begin by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm Professor Bobo. I've been with Concordia University since 2011, which was the inception of the school counseling program. I've had the opportunity to write some syllabi for the course, as well as be a subject matter expert in some of the courses. And now I also do supervision, fieldwork, and practicum. So I've been able to teach all of the classes in the course. And again, prior to working for Concordia University, I was also a professor at Alliant University, working in the school psychology program. And later they added the school counseling program, which was some of my background. I am the mother of one adult child who is 30 years of age, and I've had the opportunity to utilize all of my counseling skills as a mother. Finally, I have been working for Hawthorne School District as a school counselor since 2000, but I taught in the district for 4 years prior. This is my 25th year, and I'm looking forward to it. The pandemic brought on lots of change, but we're back and we're better. So we are looking forward to this upcoming school year. A couple of things I will show you in this welcome video is how to access some of the different tools on Blackboard. At this time, I'll be sharing my screen. So here on this side, you'll come here to meet your instructor. There's additional information regarding how to contact me via email and or cell phone. I like to tell the students that feel free to text me questions throughout the day. I am able to get back to you if it's a quick yes or no, like I'm unable to attend class tonight, there's been an emergency. That just allows me to know whether you'll be present in class, and then we can talk about the particulars at a different time. I'm not able to answer emails as quickly because my job does take me out in the fields throughout the day. So I'm rarely sitting by a computer. So it's important to give me that 24-hour period to answer your emails. If it is a more detailed question, I do prefer the emails because sometimes the text messages don't really relay what you're asking. And if the email requires too much typing, then feel free to contact me. I'm available after 4. So here's where you'll find all of your assignments for week 1. As you can see, class begins on the 22nd. The first week ends on Sunday. Here are your videos for the week. So your reading materials, plus your book, and then your live virtual information. And here's where the link is for our class. The link will be the same throughout the class, all right? In this video, I will also go over your assignments for the course. If you click on submit assignments, this is where all of the assignments, the late policy is there, and additional information and dates for the assignments are also there in this area, right? We do have one group assignment in which I will randomly select you to be in groups. I usually hit it about 3 or 4 times so that Blackboard can really mix you up in case you've had previous group assignments, and then that gives you an opportunity to work with a different group of students. This is where for the group assignment, only one person will need to submit the assignment after you've worked on it, which is a lesson plan, and I'll go through that a little bit later. All right, so here you would go for your syllabus and textbook. And this we are using, I'll show you the picture of the book, Interrupting Racism, Equity, and Social Justice in School Counseling. And in this course, we're going to really focus on the achievement gap. Some of you may have heard the achievement gap, but we'll be talking about what is our role as school counselors in making things more equitable for all students. All right. So your first assignment is to, is the achievement gap assignment. And during this assignment, you're going to find a site that you can examine their population. And it's important to find a site, and we recommend that you use your practicum or your fieldwork site. That way you have access to data. Now you may not have specific access. So this is where if you're using your practicum or your fieldwork assignment, you are able to go ahead and get that information through your site supervisor so they can print out various things for you. I'm going to share my screen one more time in regards to where I am on the assignments. Give me 1 second. It's over. Okay. So I'm talking about assignment number 1, which is called the Achievement Gap Assignment. And I want to go to the assignments. I'm going to go to the submit assignments because they're all there. And the Achievement Gap Assignment. All right. So here's where I will get the information regarding the actual assignment. So what you're going to do is find your location, either your practicum or your fieldwork, or where you can get access to specific data of a school site. All right. And then what you're going to do is review the existing school data to identify achievement gaps and opportunity gaps by answering the list of questions. Here you click on this data summary. There are a list of questions on this data summary, and you're going to answer those questions using the data that you have received. You're going to explain policy and procedures which counselors can use to identify barriers to learning and access to opportunities, particularly for those marginalized students. And in the case of your chosen school, discuss specific challenges which students from your particular school face. All right. So even if you're, this can be done if you haven't selected a practicum field site. If you know someone who has access, another school counselor, a psychologist, you can even maybe it's the high school where you attended and your best friend works there. So there are multiple ways of accessing this. So don't get focused on, I'm not in my field work. There's lots of changes. The practicum is, I'm having problems with my practicum supervisor's not at my site. Think outside the box and try to obtain this information. And you can interview people. And then what you're going to do is kind of get that information. You can get it through their school plan. You get, the demographics, and by interviewing the individual who gave you the data to ask them about the achievement gaps. So of course you want to select someone who is working with those achievement gaps. So I want to kind of define for you what an achievement gap is. So the National Assessment of Educational Progress has defined the achievement gap as one group of students. Students can be grouped by race, ethnicity, or gender, who outperforms another group with the differences in average scores. So the two groups is statistically significant. So we're not looking at our smaller populations. These are the populations on our campus that have a wide difference. Now, for example, if you have a super diverse campus, which means that you have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, then all of those different minorities do count. And so you're looking at the achievement gap as it pertains to those minority groups. Special ed usually is about 10% of your population. However, you could have more. There are schools that have identifiable groups that are larger, and that is problematic because providing equity to that group of students is difficult. So this is definitely a group. So while the achievement gap differences between demographics are often the spotlight, the gaps between students with disabilities and without English language learners, native English speakers, and socioeconomic status can also be specific groups, all right? So the evidence for achievement groups are mostly found in dropout rates, test scores, college enrollment rates, and other measures of success for schools. Obviously, we use this. We just, many of us just finished taking the CAS for California, which is our assessment test at the end of the school year, achievement test at the end of the school year. It was an abbreviated version in comparison to previous years. So these are things that maybe you haven't worked with, but you probably want to get more information on. Many of our students didn't do well because of the pandemic. So how do we provide equitable access to education and academics for these groups? So again, the groups have mostly been focused on our white students versus the Black students, or our white students versus the Hispanic students, and the achievement as it occurs between those demographics. But as I stated earlier, it can be between students with disabilities, native English language learners, second language learners, and socioeconomic data. So these are things that you'll be looking at to help answer this question. So what you're going to do in your paper is identify challenges, describe the direct and indirect services that students, that school counselors give, which are available to address gaps and barriers, and discuss how you as the school counselor may demonstrate leadership, advocacy, and collaboration to address these gaps and barriers, right? And then we'll have a group assignment that we'll go back to after collecting and writing a little bit about this data, all right? Your second assignment is the implicit bias reflection. And in this assignment, what you're going to do is you must take the Harvard implicit bias. You must take the test. First, take the test, analyze your results, and then write the 2-page paper, 2 to 3 page paper. In that 2 to 3 page paper, you are going to identify and acknowledge at least 2 personal limitations and biases and articulate how they may affect your work as a school counselor. So we want you to utilize the test for those implicit bias. You may know some already because you know your own personality, but we want you to base it on the information that you have from the Harvard implicit bias test. And then some examples of some limitations and biases could include age-related biases against older teacher or lack of understanding of parent styles or certain minority cultures, And you're going to identify those around you who have an impact on your personal biases and the ways in which you will monitor and expand your personal, multicultural, and social justice advocacy, awareness, knowledge, and skills. That's a 2-page paper. And that's your second assignment. Your third assignment is your position statement assignment. And here are the 3 position statements for ASCA. One is on cultural diversity, one is on anti-racist practices, and the third is equity. So you're going to select one article. So we want you to use the CUI library and select a peer-reviewed journal article and address leadership or change theory in school counseling. And in this 3 to 5 page paper, you would explain how you would apply the knowledge and in practice action as your role as a school counselor and at your current school site, okay? And to address at least one of the 3 position statements. And an example of that is how you would collaborate with all stakeholders to provide relevant interventions and strategies that advocate for and to promote social justice for all students. All right. So we want equity. We've seen a lot in the news about bullying and our LGBTQ plus students. So how would you advocate for them? And how would you make sure that they are having an equitable experience in school, right? And so that is your third assignment for this course. Your fourth assignment for this course is the marginalized populations poster. So in this marginalized populations poster, you will research a specific social identity group that has been historically or is currently marginalized or underrepresented. You're going to create a poster, including the following information: the summary of the research literature identifying barriers and of access, equity, and success for that group, and propose one or more action or strategies that counselors can take related to intervening with the student academic performance, student engagement, student discipline, school culture, family involvement, and other programmatic supports in the school for the purpose of providing equitable access for that specific group. You're going to use Google Slides, and the virtual poster will be 24 by 36 inches. And we want you to set that up. So you're in your Google Slides, you can make your slide that big, put all the information on the slide. There's other virtual slides, virtual things that you can use, but make sure that it transfers to either PDF or Google Slides or a Word doc. That's super important because those are the things that you will be able to use to upload the assignment. I do not want pictures of it. I want the actual poster with the writing on it. So it's important that you can format it to that so that you are able to upload it to Blackboard. All right. Here's the PowerPoint poster templates for research. It's right there, so it should be able to help you with that. Examples of practice posters and presentation poster templates that are free. So all of your resources are right here on your assignment in creating that particular assignment. Finally, we have the Closing the Gap group assignment, and you will work in groups, and this is your final assignment that is due. The poster assignment is your signature assignment for this course. As you recall, part of the MAED policy is that you must turn in your signature assignment. If you do not turn in the signature assignment, it is not possible for you to receive a passing grade in this course. The group assignment is not the signature assignment. So in this group assignment, what you're going to do is create a lesson plan and an action plan. So you all did the achievement gap based on your site. And now what you're going to do is use one site to create small group lesson, which outlines the learning objectives and content for classroom or small group for any age or any grade level. The lesson plan can cover any topic you feel would be applicable for the specific classroom or small group of your choice. On your assignment, it has the format and a sample lesson plan. So closing the gap action plan, you're going to see the different templates, and you're going to include the Ask Us student standards, mindset, and behaviors for student success that are needed to create a positive school culture where everyone is included. All right. You can disregard the results and reflection section of the action plan since this has not been implemented. So as a group, you have not implemented to see the results of that. This is just the actual putting the lesson together and getting ready to do the lesson. And then the action, the actual results and reflections would be after you do the reflection, collecting the data. The purpose of that is so that you can understand and do the first parts of that for your capstone, all right? So you're going to choose to focus on a classroom small group of any age or grade level. It would be ideal to choose a classroom at your practicum or fieldwork. That might not be possible, but so that you can apply what you've created. And then feel free to be as creative as you would like for the small group lesson, right? So those are the assignments that are due in this course. I look forward to seeing you week 1. And this is just so you have an idea of the overview of the course. And I will be adding instructor videos on weeks 2, 4, and 6 for the 6 and 8 for the semester, just to give you information on the text and go over some of the readings that you have done. Thank you so much, and welcome to EDSC 550. Again, I'm Professor Bobo, and I hope you have a wonderful semester.